piece is performed, how does it feel right now?
My stomach is still blocked.
Your stomach is blocked. How come? Nerves.
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm still too close, and when you're close to a strong experience, you need a bit of time to relax, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Was it scary?
And not as scary, but adrenaline, I mean, you can imagine working something for 12 months and then you have the condensed experience in 14 minutes. So yeah, again, you write something for such a long time and then the experience itself is such short and condensed, so it rings for a long time after the performance.
I always think, no, now my pulse shouldn't get higher because then it's going to be dangerous. Just pounding and sweating. Don't say.
How about you, Michael? Were you nervous? Are you able to listen and relax to your own piece?
No, that's why recordings are made, so you can take it home quietly and have another listen. But I think when you hear it for the first time in a public performance, you're always a bit distracted or picking holes in it already, and it takes some time to get some objectivity towards it.
What's it like working with the Netherlands Radio Kamer Filharmonie? Was it different than other?
Amazing.
Absolutely different.
It was different. They are incredible musicians, but that is not always enough. They also have an incredible attitude and engagement. And I mean, whatever you intend, they're up for it. And what is amazing is normally you have to explain a lot, and you really, if you have something alternative playing technique, you expect that you have to explain everything. But they were really into it, and they were fixing things themselves. Had already some solutions for different things that might not work by itself 100%. So it was an amazing experience.
So a creative body of players.
Yeah. Really something that you only normally experience with very, very small ensembles where you work close with people.
Such intimacy. For me, what strikes me the most is you have orchestra, which is the least intimate instrument. There is a corporate group of people, but you get a little bit from both worlds. The size of a corporate sound, but with the intimacy with working with them in a very easy way. The distance was not big. You can still talk, and Peter makes also the link a lot with this intimacy of the composer meeting the orchestra, the instrument.
What is amazing is that, I mean, it's obvious you have a world-class orchestra. That's a starting point, I would say. But normally, such a great orchestra, they are so much interested in playing new music, first of all, and sometimes, even if they have to play because the program obliges them to do it, they are relatively distant to the composers. And for me, especially, plus I was late, so I felt a bit bad with the orchestra because, I mean, they also need time to work on the things, and I was very late. But I think the way they approach the music, the way they changed the sound, the way they became sensitive to the sounds coming from the soloists. And it's unusual for them, they see loudspeakers near them, and they see a soloist far where there are normally the percussions. And that's very unusual, right? The way they react to that, the way they just molded their sound and their sonority, the way they looked for them, for the right mutes, for the right... I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I don't know if you know which kind of jewel you have there, but I mean, it's really something extraordinary.
But they survived?
No, I didn't torture them. I just tried to be very exacting with them.
Okay. When I first started this, I knew that Peter Eötvös would be conducting, and in many ways there's an extra part in there, which is all the myriad of tempo changes I have and the fermatas, and in many ways he is an equal, soloist in this orchestra by his amazing control over the flow of time, and so not only is the orchestra incredibly professional at what they do and very open, but also there is this controller of time at the front who just has such musicality. It was very privileged.
One final question for you guys. Why writing for a classic chamber philharmonic in a way not far removed from Mozart or Haydn or early Beethoven? Why do that now in the beginning of the 21st century?
You still cannot get that range of coloristic possibilities and also that sense of interaction with a large number of people all coming together and working for a common goal in smaller ensembles. There's just something about all those people on stage that you are in control of, and the sound that results out of that is so unique.
Felipe, how about you? Why the chamber?
For me, I mean, the chamber is the starting point, but I have my chamber orchestra. Marco has his chamber orchestra. Simon has. We adapt the instrument to each language, so it is a starting point. Is the big palette that one just then builds its own instrument out of it. So it's a classical formation only at the before the first measure, and then we just adapt and you glue to our own personalities.
Yeah, how about you? Changing the colors or?
Yeah, well, for me it's really to have something, to turn something upside down. You have to something which is quite well defined, and in this case, it's the orchestra is very, you know how it's normally perceived. You know, it's normally the main element in a piece of music, symphonic music, and that's why in this case I found it interesting to take exactly the orchestra, which you expect something particular from, and then kind of see if I could turn it upside down or at least put it in another context.
And so he did, and they loved him for it. How about you, Marco?
Because we had this great music from Mozart, Beethoven and company, that they just went through what the possibility of the orchestra. But I think, a sound body are still mysterious ways to discover. It's up to us to be creative and find them. It's not easy, but it's possible.